All right, welcome back. This is MDawg, and I am joined for this session by my wife. We'll go with JDawg. Hey, JDawg.
Hi, MDawg.
And she's going to do a little fishing with me. So, real quick, I know at the end of the last episode I had mentioned that I was trying to figure out if we could use carp boilies, and it looks like we can't, in fact. I don't think there's any way to use carp boilies until you do unlock one of the rigs, such as classic hair rig. So we're quite a ways from that. And it used to be back in the day that you could use, there wasn't the restrictions, so just couldn't remember how they were doing it now, but I think we're going to go back to the spot that we left off on. I didn't even look at the cafe. You've got me all confused about
What's at the cafe?
So at the cafe, they have like orders for certain fish. And if you get those orders filled, then you make more money than just selling the fish at the market like you normally would. You get like some premium prices. So we're trying to find the MDawg special spot here. That's a nice one, but that's not it. Where are we on the map? Yeah, we're not quite there, I don't think. Here it is. Does this look like a good spot?
Yeah.
All right.
Can we get a house on the lake like that?
Yeah. Isn't that pretty over there?
Mm-hmm.
If we had binoculars, we could zoom even farther, but we can't afford them. This is a low-level account. Binoculars are expensive. I can't remember how to get this thing to go away. Oh, maybe that'll do it. I don't know why it popped up. There we go. All right, so we've got bread. This is feeder or bottom fishing. See how we have this cool like cage?
Mm.
Do you know what groundbait is?
I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah. I don't really know what it is either. I mean, really, but it's just like some stuff that attracts the fish, you know? And we're fishing with bread.
Okay.
An 11 size hook, at least on this one. I've got it clipped at 9 meters. That means that we have like something hooked up on the rod so that it won't cast past 9 meters, because we don't want it to go any farther than that for this spot. So it kind of will stop right there at the 9 meter mark. So with feeder fishing or bottom fishing, and this has got the same thing on there, bread and ground bait. We'll go 9 here too. We'll kind of go to a different spot with this one. Get that one tight, put them down. And then we don't have to really worry about it. Like, we'll know when there's a fish on because it'll start going crazy. Do you want to do some bobber fishing, some float fishing, instead of just feeder fishing? So we'll put, it's nighttime, we'll put worms on there. What size hook do we have? Tiny, 20, we can go to 18 with worms. Let's check our depth. So we want to be at about 80 centimeters in this spot. All right, so I'll catch the first fish and kind of show you how you do it, and then you go after that, all right?
Okay.
So these fishing poles are numbered. This is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. So if I press number 3 here, I will pick up the number 3 fishing pole.
Okay.
All right? Now, if that bobber goes all the way underwater, what I want to do is push the right mouse button here. It'll start to, why is that not working? Sorry, on float fishing, that's not right. Left mouse button. It'll start to lift it up, and I would keep lifting till the slack came up, and then I would pull the fish out, because this is almost like you've got a bamboo rod, like old school, just kind of sitting there. These 2 lines actually have reels on them and all that, but my favorite is feeder fishing because I don't really have to do anything. Like when the fish gets on there, it's just going to hook itself. Hear the bell going off?
Yep. So do you need to switch to 1?
No, what you want to do is you want to wait till you really see the line is moving, because right now it could just be nibbling at it, pulling at it a little bit. But so you can pull it too quick, but once the fish is really on there, it'll stay on there for a while. So you're not, like with float fishing, you have to be quick about it. With feeder fishing, once it's hooked, you're pretty much okay for a few seconds, if not like up to a minute or 2. In fact, I've gone downstairs and made coffee and come back up and the fish is still on. So now it's clearly on there. So I'm going to hit button 1.
Okay.
And then So if I hit R, that just confirms that there is a fish on, right?
Okay.
And all I'm doing is hitting the left mouse button to reel. It's very easy. And then the right mouse button will lift it when I'm ready to lift it up to myself. But I'm just doing left mouse button to reel it in. You can kind of see it there. I mean, I could be doing this really fast, but I'm kind of doing it slow to show you. All right, now it's trying to swim away. But it's a very small fish, so our gear is much more powerful than it is. So I could just jerk him out of the water. Okay. If it's a really heavy fish, though, then the mouse wheel, if you scroll it up or down, it changes your friction brake. Okay. And so the kind of what you're doing with friction brake is, that was a crucian, we'll keep it. You can hit spacebar or click on this. What you're doing with friction brake is you're balancing, I mean, you've done some fishing. You know how you can change the brake on it. Well, if it's a big fish and you do the brake too tight, it's just going to snap, right? Yep. So the tension gets too much. But if you have it too little, it's going to pull your line out. And so with big fish, you're sort of trying to find that balance to not break your line, but to have enough tension where you're wearing the fish out, and then eventually they'll get tired and you can pull them in. So that's basically what we're doing every time we're catching a fish, especially if it's a difficult fish to catch. And float fishing will eventually be that way too, because if you look at your skills, like if we were on my main account, then instead of using basically a bamboo rod, we'd be fishing with a match rod. And so it would look a lot more like the bottom feeders, except you would still see the float out there. But when a fish got on there, you'd reel it in, so you can get a lot more power. Where now with this, all we have is just the ability to, however strong this pole is when we lift it out of the water. So anyway. Okay. All right. So I'll move out of the way and let you catch the next one. Whichever one you think is ready.
Two's starting to get
there,
right?
Yeah, it's getting there. It might not be quite there yet. But this is a good spot, especially during the night. You can catch a lot of fish here.
You think I should go for two?
Yeah.
Okay.
You start reeling it in. It's not pulling lines, so you don't really have to do anything with the brake. And then when it gets close, just kind of hit the right trigger and you'll pop it right up into your waiting hands.
That close?
Yeah. And you can hit both. You can continue to reel, but hold down the right trigger so that it comes up to you. There you go. And we definitely want to keep that. See how it's a marker? That means it's worth money because it's big enough. All right, you want to cast it back out? Just kind of aim to the right of the weeds. Other side. Not that far.
And then...
like right over here. And then just hold down the left trigger until it gets to about 50% or less, and then let go. Oh, that was quick. All right, let's try that again.
Well, sorry.
No, it's fine. Let's try that again. I need to have the reel speed faster so that we can, when there's not a fish on, we get it back in faster. All right, just if you hold the left mouse button down, look, we've got a float fish on. Don't worry about it. If you hold the mouse button on, you'll see the percentage go up, and then just let it go when it gets to around 50 or
Where
so.
is it?
It's going to be down here, yeah.
Okay, so hold it down.
Yep, let go. That's fine.
That
Remember, we've got that clip on there, so it's not going to let it go too far. So that was good.
All right. I don't have to worry about my lines potentially getting tangled.
And thankfully, at this point in the game, they're very forgiving on that stuff. I don't know if eventually they will. So we missed that fish. It pulled it right out of its mouth. I don't know if eventually they'll do physics of lines, but like right now, lines will go through trees or just about anything. So it's kind of weird that way. That first line has been bouncing around for a while, but so I'm going to pick it up to see if there's a fish on there. If I hit R, so if there was a fish on, we would get that red message over here.
Okay,
but if it just says retrieval speed, that means there's not a fish on.
Okay.
I'm going to do the retrieval speed up on this one too. All right. Just tightening it up. I didn't mean to do that. Turned our flashlight off. Oh my goodness.
What is a rod pod?
So that's what you're basically able to put the fishing rod down on the ground like this, because it's automatically installing it into that pod. See the stakes in the ground? Because if you didn't, of course, the fish would just pull the... There's our bobber going crazy. And that's pretty much the basics.
So When do we want to try to get the one that's on the, like when it's all the way under?
Yeah. Now, when it's moving like that, we probably can get it. Let's see if it's still moving or if it stopped. It stopped. One thing that I've picked up on recently, somebody reminded me of this, because I don't do very much float fishing on my main account. But like if you kind of pull to the side, see how I went to the side there? It helps hook the fish better. Where if you pull straight up, it often comes out of its mouth. Especially with these cheap hooks we have. But so far, this is what we've caught. These are these are actually two species that are closely related. Obviously, the coloration is different, but they're very small in the carp family, but very small species. Prussian carp. And all the fishing that's in the game right now is basically different parts of Europe or in and around Russia especially, but so a lot of it is more carp centric, and I don't know if they'll ever get to the point of adding North American fishing where, I mean, they do have a lot of spin fishing in the game. You know what I mean by spin fishing? Like kind of like what your brother does, or many of your brothers do, but you know, where you've actually got a lure and that kind of thing. So they have that in the game, but they don't have like what we would think of as traditional like bass fishing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But they definitely have some fun spinning in the game, but especially at a low level, like when you're first leveling up, like I'm doing on this account and making these videos, it's easier, in my opinion, to start off with mostly doing feeder fishing, a little bit of float fishing maybe, but float fishing is just requires a lot of patience because you see the nibbles for so long, and then a lot of times the hook does come out of the fish's mouth, and it's just kind of annoying. You're up.
Okay. So left to reel, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, first I gotta do it. That's right.
There you go. And just bring it straight in, and just keep reeling. Then hit that right trigger to lift it right up into you. Because you want to keep the tension for as much as possible. There you go. Very good.
Keep it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so try to cast it back, but try not to aim high. Keep it level. There you go. Now do 50% wherever you want, right in there. That's perfect. No, that'll end up being perfect. That's good.
I did it too soon.
We can make that work.
It's like getting gas, you know, like you're like trying to hit the right amount. And you stop it too soon because you don't want it to go over.
I don't have that problem. See how small that is? But we'll still keep it because sometimes cafe orders are for small ones. I don't have that problem. I just like click it and walk away, and it just stops when it's time to stop.
And a lot of times I do that, but sometimes.
I don't try to top it off. See Wranglers talking, and so we're in game chat with a bunch of people. Last I looked, there was maybe 100. Oh, now there's 201. Just last week there was 168. So people watch the YouTube videos, and then they want to come hang out with some of us that all talk in this chat channel. And they join the chat channel by clicking on this, typing in. So there's hundreds of chat channels on here, but if you go to my dogs, there we are. And that's how people can then chat back and forth in real time.
201 people are in there right now, or just 201 people?
But not all those people are online right now. But those, how many people are signed into the chat channel right now?
But they can't talk to you right now.
Yep. But not like verbal. I mean, not out loud.
Yeah. Right.
But they can see everything I'm catching. They can see what I'm typing.
Oh, they're watching us right now.
No, they can't see what they. So you see how fish are showing up in this chat channel? If we catch a decent sized fish, do you want to get this one? If it's a decent sized one, then it'll pop up in that channel. So let's see if this one's going to be big enough to. Yeah, it's a nice gibble. It should show up. So keep it. It's 597 grams. And then over here, you'll see that we just caught 597 grams.
Okay.
So they're seeing what we're doing.
And then go lower over this way.
Yep. And just hold it a little bit longer. There you go.
Too long.
Yeah. See how it bounces back some?
Yeah.
So you want to kind of, I mean, ideally you want to stop sort of close to the distance you need. We haven't had a bite on this one in forever. So let's move it. We could also change baits, but I think I'm just going to move it a little over. All right. I'm tired of float fishing. Are you okay if we put another feeder out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get my floater.
All right. See my net?
Mm-hmm.
If you hold space down while you're holding up so you get the fish as close as you can, hold space down, your other arm will put out a net and catch the fish.
Okay.
So if it's a big fish, that can be helpful. Not usually necessary on small ones, but I'm going to take this hook off just in case we need it. And then I'm going to assign our other feeder to number 3 in place of that float.
Okay.
So that now if we hit number 3, we'll pull out this one. And we'll use a little bit smaller. We'll use a size 18 hook and worms. And we still have ground bait on there. And let's clip it at 9 like we're doing with the other ones. So I'm going to put this one over in this direction. So that means the second one will move to a little bit further left than we've been doing. I think we have a fish on. No, it's just slack. I'm going to recast it if it's okay. So since this one's now going over here, I'm going to put this one like on the right side of these weeds here, right there. And then we'll put the far left one on the left side of the weeds. Just to kind of spread them out a little bit. See if we can catch some different fish. Does anybody say anything to us we need to respond to?
Howdy.
Somebody just hit level 14. That's awesome. Grats on level 14, Texian.
What level, how many levels are there in the game?
Unlimited, as far as we know.
What level are you?
On my main account, I think we can figure that out, because I never remember. Let's look. Global search. So I'm 29 on my alternate account, my main alternate account. So I've got 2 main accounts, but my main account, we're 36 now.
Okay.
We broke 1 reel. We've never broken a rod.
How many fish have you caught? Wow, almost 30,000.
Almost 30,000. 228 of them were trophies. And only one was a rare
your
trophy.
trophy husband shirt.
I should be, but we're not on camera.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't matter.
But maybe later tonight I can do it.
Because you are a trophy
No.
husband. I've caught
But that's sweet of you to say.
I've caught the best trophy.
I wonder if they can even hear us very good. I might should have turned my mic levels up better. I hope y'all are hearing all of this entertaining conversation.
Mm-hmm. So we're actually seeing what the fishermen are drinking and eating too.
Yep.
Okay.
And really I should be digging for bait while we're doing this, because it levels up your bait harvesting.
Okay.
Which allows you to make more complicated baits. And now we just lost all of our energy.
Wait, why?
And one way to get that back is to drink tea. And then you'll see that bar slowly fill back up, so we can so we can dig again.
So that's what that noise is when I hear that. I never knew.
We can also turn a loaf of bread into bait, because we're fishing with bread right now in this spot. So this is another way. Sometimes we're getting high enough level on bait crafting that we're not getting skill points, but occasionally we are on making bread. Our goal is to get to 20% so we can start making pearl barley. Do you know what pearl barley is?
I mean, I've heard of it.
Have you? I had never heard of it before I played this game.
But I don't know if I've heard of it before this game.
Oh, you might have heard me talking about
it.
She has sat in here patiently many, many hours. All right. Do you want to get 1 or 3 first? I think both of them have a fish on.
I'll go with 1.
Okay. You're doing great.
Tell me when to lift.
I'd start lifting now. And just keep reeling. I'll come right to you. Nice crucian, honey.
All right.
So this one, yeah, aim right there. Perfect. And try to stop at 50%. Stop. That's good. Much better. You're still aiming a little high, which just contributes to the bounce back, I feel like. But overall, you're doing really good. No. It's close. It's very good.
Okay.
Do you want me to get this one?
Yeah.
So this is the one that we have on worms. And it's also a much weaker rig. So this rod and reel and line, everything about it is not as... Oh, did you see what we just caught, by the way?
Wait. Oh, we did catch it. Okay.
Yeah. Did you see what it was?
I did not. I mean, I saw it flash up, but
I know, I was too quick.
Oh, that's
See, you
why
were worried about my
MDawg
name.
wrote.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the roach. It is widespread. Catch them all the time. In fact, you know how I was telling you I have one blue tag rare trophy on my main account? You saw that? It was a roach.
Okay.
Yeah, at Surrey River. That's the other thing. Do you know how many... oh, we've got a fish on for you to catch. Do you know how many different lakes and rivers they have now at this point?
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Isn't it amazing?
And where are we right now?
Mosquito.
Okay.
We could also be at Winding or Cottage Pond, but there's only 3 we're high enough level to go to on this account. When I first started playing the game, they had these 3. They had Old Berg. They did not have this.
They had Volkov.
Yep,
right?
they had Corey, Bear, and Volkov, and that was it. And after I started playing the game, they came out with Surrey.
Okay.
And they didn't have this. This is the newest one, actually.
Are you at a higher level?
Yeah, I can go everywhere
So
on my
you
main
can go
account.
everywhere on
Yeah,
mine.
yeah. All right, you want to get one?
Sure.
Oh.
Okay.
So I think we're getting more bites now that we moved it to that left side, maybe. Go ahead and lift. It's something small. Can't tell what that is. A little gibble, maybe? Yeah. So you can keep it. Oh, okay. We're out of ground bait. Hit V.
Whoops.
Go down to Classic Feed Mix and select this stack of Crucian Gibble Carp Mix. Hit OK. Now you can hit Escape or Pick Up. Click on Pick Up. Yep. And now cast it. Very good.
So right about here, am I low enough?
A little bit to the right. Like on the edge of the weeds more. There you go. Perfect. Oh, beautiful.
52.
That was awesome.
Look at that.
So right now your bail is open. So you have to click it one time to close the bail.
What's my bail? Oh.
So that the
right.
line
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
just get, and then we're going to hit 0 to set it down.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit Y to tighten it up so that we can see when there's a bite more quickly. That's it. Good job.
Okay.
You see we're getting a little hungry. All that digging we did.
What are we going to eat?
Eat some sausages. We'll do some more digging. What do you think we'll get? Worm. Occasionally we get red worm. It's always nice.
Our energy's getting low too.
Yes, it is. It goes all the way to nothing when you dig, unfortunately.
It's a tough job.
It is. It is very tough. So the size of the fish, because it's daytime now, the size of the fish feels like they're getting a little smaller. I think we go with, let's try putting maggots on this one for a little bit and see what happens. You don't like maggots, do you? I don't either, but now I just think of them as a bait. And I don't really get grossed out by them anymore.
So all of these people are actually playing right now. So we're seeing what they're doing while they're playing. Okay.
Probably very few of them are actually at the same water body that we are. They're like fishing at lots of different places. But yeah, they're all playing.
Oh, where are we? Who's getting a bite?
One of them is. It might be that one's getting there. So you have to make your own ground bait. So, for example, what we're using is Crucian Gibble Mix. So you have to buy each of the ingredients from the store, and then you make it, and then that gives you a stack of ground bait that you can use in your feeder rod. And I already showed you how we're making baits, right? Right now we're just doing bread. We'll be making potato cubes, pearl barley. Garlic dough right now is really good at Old Berg.
Okay.
So when we can make that, that'll be good. Cheese is often good for tench and stuff. And then once you get to 50%, you can cut up your fish and turn them into bait for like fishing for burbot and catfish and stuff. So those are some of the big ones, like milestones in terms. All right, you want to get number 3?
Okay.
It had swam towards the shore, so it took you a while to get close. I'd go ahead and lift it up. It's close. There you go. Look at this.
Wow.
Is that not a cool fish? Hold on.
A Chinese sleeper.
They've got really big mouths for how small they
Wow.
are. So you can actually use pretty big hooks on them, even though they only weigh 124 grams.
So are we keeping it? Or
Oh, yeah,
releasing
we'll
it?
keep it. Yeah, we'll keep all the markers for
Why
sure.
when would you release?
So I really wouldn't release here at Mosquito very much because there are cafe orders for undersized fish.
Okay.
But as you get to be higher level, there's less and less reason to keep fish that aren't markers because they're not worth anything. So you would just release them and get a little bonus XP sometimes. But other than that, you wouldn't really release very often.
Ooh, Wrangler's consuming baked potatoes. Wrangler, that's what I had for lunch.
And you had some coffee with it.
Oh, good job, Wrangler.
All right, let me get this one.
Okay.
So this is still bred. We put maggots on that second one. We haven't caught anything. I was trying to get more of the sleepers and Chinese sleepers and stuff. Let's try casters here. I've never done that, or I haven't done that in a long time. We'll see if anything will bite the casters. I think we're more likely to get roach or perch. You gonna get number 3? That's a decent sized fish there. Well, this is also the small rig. All right. You want to release it just for fun?
Okay.
Okay. Let that one grow up and get a little bigger.
All right. And now where do you want me to go?
Yeah. I'd say far, like right at that log. Far right to the log. Or that driftwood.
Like about there?
Yeah. It's great. Perfect. Look. Tighten it up a little bit. Put it in its stand. And we're good. We need to dig.
Remind me how you tell the temperature from Celsius. How does it translate?
You type into Google, what is the translation between... I don't remember. It's weird. It's 14.1, 14.8.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. It's a warm day at Mosquito Lake. I don't think that's hot, but I think it's warm.
I feel like you add 30, I don't know, something.
Oops. I didn't mean to open Discord. 14, what was it, 0.8?
14.8 Celsius to Fahrenheit.
It's chilly.
Okay, so hold on. So you multiply it by non-fizz and add 32. I knew you added 32, I just couldn't remember what the other stuff was. Okay.
Do I have Discord server? Yes, I do have a Discord server. The easiest way to go to get my Discord server is probably go to Twitch, MDawg Gaming, and type !Discord. Rasmus says, nice video, man. Thanks, Rasmus. And Gentra says, hey, MDawg, I want to see carp fishing and buying all carp gear. So Gentris is voting that on this account we start aiming towards getting low-level carp gear and trying to focus on carp.
Okay.
Excuse me. Hey, this is our first fish on casters. See what it is. It looks like a crucian. Looks like what we've been catching.
Okay.
It's fine. Do you want to try fishing in a different spot, or do you just want to keep fishing here? It's a big lake.
You're the expert. I trust you.
Well, it's just, this is a good spot for catching fish, but there's plenty of spots we could catch fish.
Seems like it's your secret spot.
It's, well, not a secret, but it is a spot I use a lot. This number 3's got a fish on it. I'll let you get the next
Bring
one.
it in, babe.
It's another little roach. Yeah, I feel like the variety of what we catch here is different during the day. We catch more variety during the day, but at night you catch those really big crucians and gibbles that are decent, add up in terms of silver and experience. So we're level 11. At level 12, we'll be able to go to Old Berg. We'll be able to use certain like gear and stuff that we can't use at 11. It's kind of a big level to hit. Hey, we got redworm. That's
about to be thirsty.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know it. Need some tea, don't we? Oh, I'm supposed to let you catch this one.
It's okay.
That was on maggots. Maggots aren't doing much. Okay, let's try redworm one time. I don't really want to waste our redworm in this spot because they're especially good at going for like rough and some bream. But let's just try one there and see what happens. So how many different species of fish have we caught now? 4 with the sleeper: common roach, crucian carp, gibblepark, and sleeper.
Okay.
The Amur sleeper. It's in the Amur River Basin.
I've been to St. Petersburg.
Have you?
Yep.
You were very young, right?
No, I was in high school. So yeah, I was young, but it's not like I was like.
It's not like you're a kid.
Yeah.
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 It's cool. Oh, it looks like the goby, apparently. That's interesting.
What are these where it says? What's that?
Are you touching the monitor, or are you just pointing at it?
I'm
I was just
pointing.
curious because fingerprints and stuff show up, but so actually, listen, I'm zoomed in a little bit, which
We
makes
do
it
need to
weirder.
clean that monitor. No, I can see.
I know
other specs.
it's tons of stuff on there. So like if you hit E right now, you would pick it up as if you were hitting 3, right?
Well, no, I'm talking about that part right there.
Tells you what it is.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at details, that's
Oh,
the name
of
of
the
the rod,
rod.
and then
Okay,
that's the name
okay,
of the
okay,
reel, and
okay.
all the
Sorry.
different components. No,
Just
it's
want
fine.
to make sure I'm understanding. Okay.
And then K is doing the opening and closing bail.
Okay.
So kind of like what I was doing by just clicking it one time on the left, by reeling.
Okay.
It's another way you can do that. Y reels it in to tighten it up, and then E picks it up.
Okay.
But yeah, so these two are the same. The Common Comfort ED 360 is what we have on both of these.
Okay.
And the reels are the same too. Those are Lacerti reels. And we've just got a good bit more power on these than we do on the Sorrento line. We're up to 16.5.
What is Jingle Bell Lemonade?
I think it's a type of alcohol. So the alcohol in this game... Oh, I didn't mean to drink it. The alcohol in this game, if it's raining,
Yeah.
the bottom line, the fisherman's comfort starts to go down. But alcohol warms you on the inside a little bit, and so it helps your comfort stay up even if it's storming outside.
Okay.
Are we out of loaves? Yep. No more bread for me. I think you've got a fish almost on 3.
Okay.
We need to watch 2 because I want to see what we catch on that redworms, and then I want to switch the bait again. Hit R. One time. Yep, you good. Go ahead. You got one. You can hold down shift if you ever want to reel fast, by the way.
Oh, okay.
If you ever want to get it in quicker. That's a cute little sleeper.
Keep or
Yeah, you can
release?
keep it. We didn't look at the cafe order, so we just have no idea which of these might be good for.
About here or?
Yeah, that's great. Why don't you so click it one time, hit 0, and then tighten it up by looking at it and hit Y till you see. You got to look at. Oh, you are looking at it. It's fine. You can just hold it down. You have to keep holding it down until it gets tightened. All right, you're good.
Okay.
Now see what's on the line 2, and then we'll switch baits on that. We got all kinds of fish on. All right, go for it. See what redworm caught in this spot.
Why is he going that way?
He's just wanting to swim. You can just pull him to you. Right trigger. Mouse trigger.
Oh, go ahead and pull him up. Sorry.
It's a nice little sleeper. Look at the size on him. All right. Hold down B. You got to hold it down.
Okay.
And select. Oh, hold it down. Select bread. Let's put bread back on one of these. Yep. Now let go. See how you changed it up there?
No.
Perfect. Cast away, my love. All right. Sweet. You done good.
Am I tight enough?
No.
So what do I do now
You
again?
can left click just a little bit. Now hit 0. Did you hit 0?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
And then tighten it up with Y. Hold on. Okay, now you're good. Whichever other one you want to catch. So this was on casters again. Casters are like little insects, I think.
Yes or no?
Yeah, keep him.
All right, and what does this mean?
That's how much XP points. You need XP points to level up.
Okay.
So we're slowly leveling up. All right. When you click on bark beetle larva, I want to try those here. All right. Same. This should also be good for roach. Perfect. Man, you're getting to be a pro.
Getting there.
Wow.
All right, now what?
You remember? Yep.
And then 0.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Oh, 2.
Yeah, you want to tighten that up real quick?
Y.
Mm-hmm. You just got to look at it. So look with your mouse. Move your... Yep. I would get 3 first. It's been on there
Okay.
the longest. The spot's pretty good. It's keeping you busy.
Yeah, except I feel like I'm lost in the weeds.
Would you like a more comfortable spot where you're not in the grass?
It just gets me a little bit nervous. But then I remember it's not real life.
It's not real life. That's
Keep
right.
or release. He
Let's
looks
keep him.
little.
He is little. We're going to sell him to the cafe, though. I can feel it.
All right. Am I throwing back?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Let's throw him back one more time, then we'll go look at the cafe. But the bite rate is so good right now, we should probably take advantage of it for a few minutes. You got it, girl. Now I need to put you on my main account and let you bring in an 80-pound carp and see how that feels.
No, I'll be stressed out.
The nice thing about this is you don't really have to worry about friction brake much, do you? You remember how to do the friction brake if you had to worry about it? The mouse wheel.
Oh, that's right, the mouse wheel.
But that does take some getting used to on sort of when to do that and how much to do it. You've got this down though. I think you should just start your own account and show us how it's done. You got to look at it. There you go.
You think I'm tight enough?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. No rest for the weary.
No, and this is on the bark beetle larva. This should be a roach, but I guess you never know.
I'm going to need some tea soon. Maybe Wrangler will share a baked potato.
Why don't you go get us some coffee or tea, or I'll go get us some coffee or tea. You keep fishing. There's a little crucian. That's weird. I thought we'd get a roach on that, but there's so many crucians and gibbles down here. They kind of take over. Hey, look at this break you've gotten. Nothing's on right now. You caught up with everything. Now I do have shortcuts on the mouse, so like there's ways I can do all this one-handed. But I didn't want to. Is that tight? I can't tell.
No, sorry.
That's fine.
It's not tight.
So we've caught quite a few fish. We're at 23 fish. Did you need a sip of my drink?
Oh, I've got my water.
Oh, okay.
I was just thinking of getting weary.
I know. It's pretty exhausting, isn't it? Sleeper. The only thing I guess I can't do is tighten the line from my mouse. I could program a shortcut like of another button. See how all these buttons I have on the side of my mouse? So a lot of this stuff I have programmed as secondary buttons. So like I can set it down by hitting 10, which is the same as hitting 0 on the keyboard.
Did you ever hit the wrong button?
Oh yeah. And when the stakes are high, when you've got a big fish on, you can really mess things up.
Yeah.
Constant bells. You know, when you get higher level and you earn a lot more silver, you can afford the luxuries of things like blinkers that don't make any noise. They just light up when there's a fish on.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to listen to this constant ringing. If I'm on my main account and if I'm streaming and I know people are watching and they're probably playing their own game at the same time, I'll use the blinker so that they don't have to hear my bells as well as theirs.
It's really thoughtful of you.
Well, that's what I hear. I'm a thoughtful streamer.
You are thoughtful. Thoughtful MDawg.
All right. Did you get enough of a break? You ready to go again?
All right. Where are you going to go?
Next fish is yours. What time is it? 15:28. We've already been going 41 minutes. So I guess let's just get a couple more fish and then we'll go up to the cafe. Is there anything else you want to talk about or do before we get to the end of our...
No, thanks for teaching me. Thanks for being patient.
Thanks for joining me. It's going to be a real treat. It's a treat for me. It'll be a treat for other folks too.
For your fan club.
Not a fan club, but there's not a lot of content on Russian Fishing 4 out there, so...
Think I'm ready or no? It was just a nibble.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Move to your left or right a little bit by hitting A or D. And now look at it. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's still pretty stationary, so I wouldn't do anything. Now 1 has one on it now. You gotta right click, right, yeah, there you go. Shift makes you reel faster, not lift it faster, yeah. So those bark beetle larvae have really only caught gibbles and crucians. I haven't done roach, which they normally are so good at roach.
Whoops. That was not what I wanted.
Hit escape.
How can I tell if I've tightened it up enough?
Well, first of all, you gotta be looking down at it so that so you get the, there you go. There you go. You'll see the bell start to ring. There you go. I must have the environmental sounds down because I don't hear all the birds chirping and all that sometimes you hear when this is running in the background. Don't you miss the bird sounds?
The birds. Did I have another one on 1 again?
Mm-hmm. That was fast, wasn't it?
Hold on.
I actually think that you bring good luck because whenever you're the one that's bringing in the fish, it's like constant bites. It won't let you rest.
Teamwork.
It's a nice fatty one. 708 grams. Very good.
Is that good?
You're good, yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was
I know.
that jingling.
Well,
or
you need to. Sometimes it's helpful to move so you can get a better angle on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to see it when you're straight on like that. You done good.
So we've caught 30. that right?
Yeah, 30 out of 100 fish.
Wow.
Yeah. All
So
right.
the most we can catch is 100.
Yeah, you got to go sell your fish before you go past. To empty your net again. I think before my next episode, I will go get some potatoes because we're getting to the point where we'll need to start making potatoes. Look how full the tension bar is. Although again, this is our weakest line. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be that big of it. This is pretty nice. Is that our first perch?
Maybe.
I don't think you've seen a perch yet.
No.
There's a perch.
I need some tea.
Mm-hmm. We can drink some tea in your honor.
So what are we going to do when we go to the store?
Well, we'll look at all the things that we can't afford yet. Decide what we want to buy next. But we're going to go sell fish.
Okay, we do sell the fish there
Yeah,
too.
but
Okay.
first, well, it's a different place to sell them, but it's all close by at Mosquito. It's all that stuff up there that you can see on the horizon. We will go to the cafe first, because if there's anything you can turn in at the cafe, that's where you make the most money.
What do they want to set you on?
Somebody might have a cat. Oops. So catfish in this game are tough. They tend to be some of the bigger fish that you can catch, and they're just so heavy. They just kind of like anchor themselves on the bottom, and according to what your gear is, it can be hard to wrestle with a catfish. All right, let's one last crucian for the road. Let's so I'll show you one more spot just while we're selling fish and everything. We might as well have our rods in. See if we can catch one rough, just so you can see one more species of fish before we wrap up here. A lot of times at the cafe, and I don't know if it's the case now, but a lot of times they have these orders for a fish that are called rough. There's these tiny little green fish. But the cafe orders are always so nice. Like, you get a ton of silver for these little fish if you can catch them. And one spot that I've often used is this one. So we're going to put really small hooks on there. And our red worms, we want to clip it at 14 meters. And we're basically just casting straight out. And we'll set these up on this sand. See, now you don't feel like you're in the weeds, right? Less in the weeds over here?
Yeah.
20. We'll do red worms on this one. 14 meter. Throw it out there. And then as small as we can go. 18 is as small as we can go. We'll put worm. Oh, that's the other thing. I was supposed to put regular ground bait on there, but this is fine. It seemed to work better yesterday when I was doing this without the crucian gibble ground bait, but just like a cracker based ground bait for the rough. And it was starting to get dark, so that's where the flashlight helps. But let's go see if we have any cafe orders. All those fish we caught. Oh, we can shovel again. You got to keep me on it. I got to shovel all the time.
How do you know when you need to shovel?
Because the energy's got high enough. Oh, see, red worm. We need to catch lots of red worms. So when the energy gets high enough, which is like almost full, then you can shovel.
So then you lose it again?
Yeah, and then it slowly builds up, but tea helps it build up a little faster. We can also eat for free here at Mosquito once every 24 hours, because this is the starter lake. They take it easy on you. See this filled kitchen? You can eat there once a day. This is the cafe. See how they got tables and stuff outside? Yeah, we have some coffee, tea.
Are they open in quarantine?
Wait, is there a vending machine over there? I never noticed that. That's new. They've just recently added this stuff, but this also gives you energy back pretty well.
You think one of them tastes like Diet Coke?
I hope so. All right. let's see how many of these orders we fill. First of all, are any of them about to end that we need to do first? No, I think we're good.
How
So
do we know that?
look at this rough, the timer. So
Oh,
that this
okay.
has got 90 hours left. But
Okay.
like this one only has 13 hours
Okay.
left. So we want to sort it by weight. And the reason why we want to do that is because they only need 3 of them.
Okay.
So see how these are not markers? At the fish market, we'll get like 0.01 silver for it.
Okay.
So almost nothing. So we want to sell those for sure as part of this order because we're getting 7 silver.
So if they have a check, then
We're going to make a little bit
little
on
more,
those.
okay.
Yeah. Perch, we only got 1, so that's not going to work. We didn't do eyed. Unfortunately, the white bream aren't biting right now because they are also really good orders at the cafe. And then this is the rough I was telling you about. 28 silver for 5 little 20-gram fish. I mean, it's like so. If you can catch them, it's so good. And then of course our gibble. We caught plenty of gibble carp, didn't we? So this is just wanting 2. So we definitely want to sell 2 of these that aren't markers, right? And then that's it. Oh wait, the roach? No, 7. So that's a really interesting roach order. 7 of them over 749. So those are decent sized roach. We'd have to find a really good roach spot to do that. So this is how much we made. We can sort them by price, so we can sort of see. The perch was worth the most, and then some of those big gibbles, crucians.
okay.
But we made a total of 26 silver plus what we got from the cafe. So not bad. Not bad. We're up to 190 silver. And probably what we're saving for next is going to be 2 things. A new feeder rod. So either something like the Asteria, which would cost us 149, the bigger one's 10 more, or even maybe the Fortuna feeder, which is 478 silver. We may just wait a while to get the next feeder. Save up for a really nice one. And by nicer, the big thing is you can just catch bigger fish. I mean, this can hold up to 19 kilos, which
Okay.
is like, what, almost 40 pounds of weight on that one. Which the ones we're using, oh, it's down here. The ones we're using can only hold like, I don't know, 7 kilos or something. So a lot lighter. I don't know how quickly we can catch these rough. If it's not happening, then it's not happening. But it would be really nice to fill that order real quick if we can. So this probably is a rough if it's that small. Yep, cute little rough.
They're cute.
They are kind of cute, aren't they?
Not as cute as you.
Well, it's a high bar. That's not a rough. It's too big. It's probably a roach. That's a rough. Just got to be over 20 grams for the order.
Okay.
So that one's
We
good.
have 2.
Yep. We're going to make some ground bait, but we're just going to use crackers. So it's a very basic ground bait. All it has is a base in it. So it's very neutral. Won't scare any fish away. That's also a rough. So we're what, 3 out of 5?
Okay.
Can we dig yet?
Yep. Right? Or does it have to be all the way up?
No, that's far enough. Ew. Not only did we not get red worms, we also didn't get points toward bait crafting, which is why it's pretty much time to start making potatoes so we can get our last few points. Open up pearl barley, because what are we at? Harvesting baits, we're up to 17%. Pearl barley opens up at 20. So we just need 3 more percent to get there. Is this number 4? 3 or 4?
4.
Okay. Oh. Let's don't even put it back out there and hope that one of these is... That's not a rough.
See, you're catching a bass. You're the good one.
Well, this is a pretty crazy spot. When it's going, it's pretty good. Somebody just unlocked match rod, which that means on float fishing they got all the way to here, which is 60%. So they got to 60% in float fishing. So we're at 29%. At 35%, we can start doing carp fishing or using carp rigs on this account, which would be nice. So Wrangler must be fishing at amber if he caught a ghost mirror carp. Oh, we can dig, love. That was quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Good news all the way around. Come on, Ruff. Do we really have 4? Goodness. We just need one more. So how much was this cafe order for the Ruff? Do you remember?
1 at 5.
It's like 21 silver.
Oh, I don't know that.
I think it was 21 silver. And we made basically like 20-something silver off of all of those fish we caught.
Okay.
So these 5 Ruff are equaling
What we've...
so many fish. You know what I mean? Like these orders are just sick. They're so good.
Yeah.
This is probably it. Boom.
There we go. Let's get them sold.
Yep. We almost had a fish on there, but I pulled it too quick. Why do we not have our reel speed up? Well, you done good.
We're a good team.
Thanks for joining me.
Yes, it's been fun. Thanks for teaching me.
All right, where's our rough order? 28 silver.
Wow.
For those 5
and you're
fish.
saying we made 20 for all the lot.
Well, but we had some other cafe orders too, but
Okay.
none of them were that high.
Yeah.
It's just crazy the amount.
Yeah.
So we're up to 218 now. Very good. Very good. Okay, thank y'all for joining us. If you have any questions for JDawg, let me know and I can communicate them and get you some answers. But I hope you have a good one. Tight lines, and I'll see you later.
Bye.